everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori and I am Entre Tejidos Crochet. Today's video is everything I made in the month of October. And as I was trying to get an idea of the plushies that I've made throughout the month, at first I was like, I didn't do quite that many things. But because I was just like focusing on the basket that I have. But then I worked on an order for 3 mama axolotls. I made a few that were used as gifts, so they're not here physically, but as I mentioned them, I will put them up on the screen. And as always, any of the plushies that you see here, their patterns are going to be linked down below. If you like any of the plushies that you see here, you can check out my Etsy shop to see if it's available for adoption. But without further ado, let's see what I made. Technically, I haven't finished this, so I haven't fully made it, but I did start on the baby blanket for my niece. And honestly, I worked all of this up in like 2 or 3 hours. It really does work up pretty quick. It's very mindless because it's just a 2-row repeat. And I'm excited. I want to finish it up. I'm waiting because I did not calculate the amount of yarn correctly. So I'm gonna need more than a skein of each color to finish up the blanket. These next 2 plushies are a labor of love. These were pattern tests for Woolly Tunes, and it's for her Sailor Cosmos pattern. I mean, yeah. And her Sailor Saturn pattern. For each of these, I custom made their eyes to match their actual eye color in the Sailor Moon series. And I mean, this one you could actually kind of you might have peeked the feet, because I have her standing right here. And I need to find another stand of those so that I can display her. I don't know if I'm gonna sell them yet because they do take a lot of work, because I mean there's just so much details on them. This next one was a pattern test for Millie Makes Magic, and it's for her adorable sunflower snuggler. I love it. I love it. I used a mix of burlap blanket with basics chenille. I've added felt eyes because I am going to gift it to a younger child, but I was amazed by how fast you can make this up. Like, as I was testing the pattern, so when I test the pattern, I take breaks to write out things that, this is what I understood, is this correct? It took me 2 hours as I was testing it out. So once you get the hang of the pattern, you'll be able to work it up pretty quickly. Another pattern that I was really surprised at how quick it worked up, even though we use fur yarn, is Watson, and this is by Sweet Fluffy Stitches. Even though his body was made with faux fur yarn, I was able to make him up in little bursts of crochet over the course of a day. Don't be afraid of using faux fur yarn, because she does include in the pattern how to work it up with regular chenille yarn. This pattern can be bought individually or as a bundle with Watson and Holmes all together. I have Holmes, I've got the pattern, but I need to make them. It's times like these that I wish I had like more arms so that I could be crocheting more things. But you know, it is what it is. We'll just work on projects as we go. This next one was another pattern test for her first ever pattern, Nicole's Creative Crochet or Creative Shop. And it's for Pebbles the zebra. And I went crazy adding a lot more hair. I don't know. I have this thing. I know a lot of people don't like crocheting hair, but I just love it. So I used non-conventional zebra colors. I used mashed potatoes from Parfait Chunky and disco ball from the Parfait Chunky pom-pom colors. And I added in a bit of lilac as well. I love it. It's so satisfying to go like this, to like play around with the hair. Another pattern test that I tested out was another first pattern for this designer. And this one is a chicken, and the designer is Crochet Creations by Haley. And I just love how the chicken turned out. I made it with the Parfait Chunky fruits, but the banana one. This one that I'm holding up is apple. Actually, not apple, watermelon. And well, let me just finish showing you the plushies that I made and what I plan on doing in just a bit. So I used the banana version of this to make her up, and I added just a tiny bit of toffee for an accent color and ruby. The other thing that I made was not a plushie, but it was a mouse ear hat. I love it. The pattern is out now by Woven Tales Designs, and if hats aren't your thing, she does have the pattern for the actual mouse ears headband. And she has a pattern for like the different bows. The pattern for the hat does include the bow pattern. So it was a really fast workup. I had no issues with her pattern. I love her pattern so much because it kind of feels like she's crocheting it with you at the same time. She really does, like, you know, write it out with so many little details that you're sure to have a phenomenal experience making it. You're sure to get it right if you have an open mind. And now we're going to start with the patterns, or the plushies that I don't have here anymore. 3 of these mama axolotls in blue, green, and pink. And it was for a custom order that came in through Etsy. The pattern is by Apsies Makes. The other thing I made, but I don't have anymore, is this loaf cat that I modeled after my brother's cat, who passed away, and then I gifted it to him for his birthday. I made these 2 adorable crochet cards for my nephew for his birthday. And the pattern is by Willow and Wild CA. And now we're going to ease into the part of the video where I've made a multiple of these patterns. Multiples. Some of them I still have, others I don't. The ones that I don't have, you'll just see the picture. The ones that I do have, I'll obviously bring into the frame. The thing that I made multiples of are these cake turtles, which can be made with my Katie Cake turtle pattern. So I have the fruit cake one, I have the birthday cake one, the fruit cake one here, but I gifted my blueberry pie one, I gifted my flower cake one, and my kitty birthday cake one, I also gifted it away. So from that pattern I made 6 different ones, and I plan on making a bunch more, especially for Christmas, to gift away as presents. And the other thing that I've made multiples of are my winter tots. This is Klaus. This is the OG. He's the original. He's the one that I used to make a revamp of my winter tots pattern. So we have Klaus. This is Tina, and she has some floppy long legs. This is Annalise, and she is like a gingerbread mod to the same pattern. This is Sarah, and she has no legs. And here we have Josh. I do plan on making another one. This is where I was going to spill the beans, but I'm gonna make another one of these winter tots with black fluffy yarn and pair it up with the watermelon fruits one. I'm excited. I can't wait to get started. But let me give you like a little overview of these cuties. This is all made with the same pattern, but you can decide if you want no legs, short legs, or leggy legs. Leggy legs, that sounds funny. But you have 3 different leg options. You have 4 different frill options, so around the gloves. You can have a simple one, a ruffled one. You can have this like extra ruffly one, or the pointed one. Kind of looks like a flower. 4 different scarf options. So you have this one that has some color changes in it, and it's worked up, each row is worked up differently. You have this like roughly curly one. This one, I believe I started calling it like the block one, but it could also be named like the square or the checkered scarf, because when you have it laid out flat, it looks like little blocks all together, blocks of color, and you get the infinity scarf. Hat options, you have 1, which is a beanie, 2, which is like this traditional Santa hat, 3 being the earmuffs, and he's just too adorable, 4, which is this cute bow, and 5, which is this knotted headband. You can very much mix and match with these options. You can leave things off. Oh, in the case of Annalise, since she's a gingerbread man or a gingerbread woman, she has these 3 jelly gumdrops attached to her. But in the pattern, I've included the details. If you don't have these on hand, you can crochet little gumdrop buttons on them. Oh no, not the gumdrop buttons from Shrek. By the time this video is out, the turtle patterns, everything I just showed you will be available. The designers will have posted their patterns for sale, but the winter tots, this pattern, they will actually be available tomorrow for purchase on my Etsy. But if you want the pattern, it will be for free exclusively for the Winter's Embrace crochet along, and all the details will be down below. That's the only place where you'll get it for free. And the only way that you'll get the full free pattern is by following all the instructions for the crochet along. But if you can't wait around, it'll be available tomorrow on November 3rd on my Etsy. The full pattern. How to make it with legs, no legs, long legs, you know, things like that. All the scarves, everything will be available then. So that's the end of this video. I really did make quite a bit of plushies in the month of October. I don't know how November is going to look, but hey, we're all for it here. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you saw something you liked, comment down below. What was your favorite little plushie that I showed you here? And yeah, share the video with anyone who wants to have like inspiration for like, oh wait, you were looking for this sort of pattern. Check it out here. And like the video if you did. Thank you again so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I mean, I could talk about crochet every single day, all day long. So it helps to have people that like it. So thank you so much for joining me again, and I'll see you back soon with another video. Bye.